All right, what's up, Tycoon? Super excited for today's video. We're going to be taking a look at Snapchat, ticker symbol SNAP. And I'm going to give you guys a breakdown real quick of my technical analysis on it. And I'm also going to show you guys multiple option strategies that you guys could implement if you feel bullish on Snapchat and you think that Snapchat, could recover very nicely in the year 2022. All right. With that being said, none of it's financial advice, just trying to give you guys some a little bit of information and education on different option strategies you guys can use that offer a really good risk to reward ratio when implemented with risk management. It's really some great strategies that could possibly earn you some money. It just depends on what Snapchat does. Okay, nobody can predict the future. All right. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and break down the chart real quick. And by the end of the video, we'll get into the option strategies. Okay, so first off, we have a daily gap down and we have a daily gap up. Okay, daily gaps tend to fill in the stock 90 to 95% of the time historically in the stock market. Okay, it's not so much a matter of if they're going to fill, it's a matter of when they're going to fill, right? The gaps down tend to fill in bear markets and the gaps up tend to fill in bull markets. Okay, and we definitely have not been in a bull market the past couple months. Things the Nasdaq definitely went into bear market territory, but things are showing signs of a recovery. We're looking at getting some long positions, and I'm going to show you guys a couple. Okay, so the gap up is huge. It's from $60 all the way up to $74, a $14 gap in the stock price. All right. And this gap down is mostly filled. Okay. You could say, it's got about, 50 cents left to fill down here between 27 and 27.50. All right. There is a small chance that we could, most of this gap is already filled, but there is a very small chance that we could come down, to $27 on Snapchat. So you do have to be cautious of that. All right. The gap up, I went over that. Right now, we have the 50 simple moving average, the 100 simple moving average, and the 200 simple moving average on our chart. Okay. What we've done is we've flipped. As you can see here, the 50 SMA has been a resistance level for us. We keep coming up to it and facing resistance, dropping back down. We tried to get above it and come back down. And now we have flipped it from resistance to support for 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row. All right. So that is a good sign. We're going to want to see it maintain the 50 SMA as support and start to, come up to the 100 SMA and flip that from a resistance level to a support level. Okay. These are some of the things you're going to need to see on the chart for Snapchat if you are looking for it to get bullish. All right. Now, you may be wondering what all these yellow ovals on the chart are. What these are is these are some examples of bullish divergence we have going on the chart for Snapchat. Okay, we're gonna pull up the RSI and make it a little bit bigger here. And essentially, all of these ovals line up with the RSI. Okay, so we're gonna go by the top ovals first. Here is our higher high right here. Okay, and then we have a lower high right here. So essentially, the stock price has made lower highs. But what I want you to notice is that the RSI has made higher highs. Okay, we have a high. Here's our initial high here on this day. We come over here, we have a higher high. This is a lower high. I'll go ahead and draw an oval right here. I forgot to draw one right here for you guys. All right, and then now we can see here, we have a much lower high on the stock price, but the RSI is going up slightly. We have a higher high here. And if we continue, we made a lower high today. And this past week we made a lower high, but again, the RSI is higher. Okay, so we're getting higher highs on the RSI and we're getting lower highs on the stock price. All right, that's a form of bullish divergence. Now let's look at the bottom. We're getting lower lows. Here's a low here. Here's our low. There's a lower low here, lower low here, lower low here. Okay, so from this point to this point, we have this trend line essentially. Okay, we have here, from this low, right, up to this low right here. You can see that that's definitely an uptrend. Okay, right here also we have a low here and a lower low here, and then from right here to right here we have a nice uptrend as well. Okay, so the stock price is continuing to make lower lows, right? But our RSI is making higher lows. All right. That also is a form of bullish divergence. If you need a little bit help with divergence and maybe want a tutorial on it, I have one in the top right hand corner. It's about 5 to 10 minutes long, and it really will help you, gain an edge on your trading, right? Once you can truly start to understand divergences and how to play them. So that's basically it. All right, there's our TA. And now we're going to go into the option plays. Okay, so we talked about gaps filled 90 to 95% of the time historically. I'm going to go over a few different vertical debit spread call options that you guys can look at if you are bullish on Snapchat and you think that it will fill this gap up. Right now, this is pretty bullish, right? I mean, the all-time highs for it is 83. And for it to go up to 73, 74 is going to be a very, very big increase. Okay, if we look here, that would be about 110%. All right, if a perfect trade, if you bought shares here and it went all the way up, that would be 110% return. But you guys are here for more than that. Okay, so what I like to do is if I want to swing something and maybe get a play that's going to take a little while to develop, and I want to get some maximize my profit potential on it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at vertical debit spreads. Okay, the reason being is because options are highly leveraged assets, so they, if you're right, you will gain a lot more than just holding shares. But there's also very much a lot of risk associated with these, right? One of them being theta, which is which is just the Greek letter for time decay. Now, what this means is that as each day passes by, your option contract slowly loses value. But if you do a vertical debit spread, then essentially you are buying a call option that loses time value, right? That has theta time decay on it. And then you sell another, strike. You sell a strike, which actually gains. You get to gain the time decay that goes towards you. You get credited that because you sold it versus buying it. So we're going to look at September 22, September 16th, 2022. And we are going to look at the 50-60 call spread. Okay, so basically, essentially, you would right click here, hit buy, go to vertical. Whoops, I just hit the wrong one. Sorry, buy, vertical. All right, and let's change this down to 1 for the purpose of this video, looking at getting one of these. And you're going to buy the 50 strike and we're going to sell the 60 strike. All right. So buy the 50, sell the 60. The bid ask on these is 117 to 125. It's got about an 8 cents spread. Not too bad. Pretty liquid for a debit spread. Not the most liquid, but it's got a nice little spread here. Okay. And if we look here, the cost of this trade is going to cost you $118, but your max profit, guys, your max profit is $883. Now, the only way to get the max profit is if on September 16th, Snapchat is trading above $60. It can be trading at 65 as long as it's 1 penny above $60 at close. On September 16th, then you will get the max profit for this. Okay, $883. So with that being said, if you're not a long-term investor in Snapchat, and I personally am not, but I do like trading it, right? I do think it's a good stock to trade. Then this is a good trade to look at. Okay, as you can see, you're risking around $100 to turn it into $800. So let's just call it a 1-to-8 ratio, right? Which is really nice. When you have ratios like these and you're entering, option plays like these, and the ratio is above 1-to-3 or 1-to-4, this allows you the room to, make a couple mistakes along the way. Like, let's say you enter, 8 plays that are a 1-to-8 ratio, right? Well, if you lose on 5 of them, you lost $500, right? All you have to do is hit one of them and you make $800 and you're still up $300. So it's really good for beginners. And that's the only reason I'm recommending it. Again, it's not financial advice. It's just a little bit of more of some education. And I want to just, kind of bring exposure, right? It's more education and exposure to option strategies, because these are ways that you can really make a lot of money when you know what you're doing. Now, In full transparency, most traders never ever hold through expiration date, right? What you're doing here is you're saying, okay, I have roughly a 1 to 8 ratio. So if I can get 100% on this play or 200% on this play, I would feel very good taking profits, right? I don't have to be a perfect trader and get all the way up to $883 for my max profit. What I can do is say, let me just be a precise trader, and let me sell whenever this goes to $200 or whenever this goes to $300, right? Which what I want people to do is set a profit goal and take profits at those areas. And that is the definition of a successful trader, right? Someone who comes in with a plan, with a stop loss, using some risk management and exit play, okay, because you don't want to just lose, all $118 you just put into this. But you don't want to sell early either. You don't want to sell just because, oh well, Snapchat went down 2 days in a row. Snapchat's down 10%. So let me sell my vertical debit spread that's got 175 days left till expiration. No, I'm not saying that either. But when you come in and you say and you find plays like these that are well over 220%, right? Because that's what we like to do in the Options Trading Tycoons Discord. We like to look for debit spreads. If we're looking to get into a debit spread, we want something with at least a 220% max profit, because then you don't have to be a perfect trader to get 50% on your trade. You don't have to be a perfect trader to get 100% on your trade, right? And that's something that we do weekly in the Options Trading Tycoons Discord, almost every day, at least, maybe every other day, at least once a week. We are getting 100% returns on our option contracts, right? And, that's doubling your money. That's really big stuff. So if you want to join that community and be a part of that, get access to our trades, our call outs, our entries and exits, use the link in the description below to join the Discord. And if you use code Zackley, you'll get a discount on your membership. Okay, so this is one spread for September 16th, 2022. I'm going to show you guys some other ones with some, a little bit more time on them. We're going to go to the January 20th, 2023 expiration date. And these are, we're going to look at the 65-70 spread. Okay, so basically you would buy the 65 call and sell the 70 call. Okay, and the bid ask is a little bit wider on these. As you can see, it's 23 to 43, so it's a little bit harder to get a fill right at the price you want. You may have to pay a little bit more than 23. Let's just go right here to like 30. Okay, let's just change it to 30. And let's look at if we bought one of these for $30. All right, your max profit is going to be $470, guys. I mean, that's over 10x your money, right? I mean, that's insane profit potential. So, I mean, you should, if if Snapchat has a nice bullish run in the year of 2022 and recovers, you should easily be able to get 100% on this, guys. I mean, we're looking at over 1,000% max profit play. You don't need to be a perfect trader and aim for the max profit each time. But what you can do is you can set yourself up with these plays that have a super high max profit and start to take profits along the way, right? Let's say you buy 100 of these contracts, right, at $30 a piece. That would be around $3,000. Okay, you spend $3,000 to get a maximum profit return of $470,000, right? Insane. So from there, what you can do is you can start selling your contracts as soon as you hit your profit goals, right? Okay, boom, I hit 100. I'm at 100% profit. Let me sell, 25% of my position size, right? Because now, you doubled your money on 25%. You sell that, and then let's say you get, then you hit 200%, 300%. You can sell another portion, right? And then you can keep going and just, mitigate your risk along the way as you go.